Thanks for staying with me. My guest is Shaun Davey, all the way from Ireland, the composer of many suites for orchestra, Celtic instruments, Celtic voices. And Shaun, are there any other composers doing what you do? I mean, I have to say I'm not aware of any. Are you kind of unique in what you do?
No, I don't think I'm unique. I was the first in the sense that nobody had put uilleann pipes and an orchestra together before I did. But not really on my own. Bill Whelan did a lot of orchestral scoring in Riverdance, for example. And Bill and I are contemporaries. There are several other composers who also are not afraid of combining orchestras with traditional instruments as well. So I'm not on my own, but in a way I was a little ahead of everybody.
Right. Well, let's sort of jump ahead and away a little bit from the orchestral works for a moment and talk about one of your more recent works, Beal Twinner, which I believe is Irish for the prow of a boat. Is that correct?
Yeah, Beal Twinner means the bow wave, I think, of a boat.
Okay. So this is based on the poems of a friend of yours who died, and the recording is live from the St. James's Church in Dingle, which must have been a heck of a concert.
You know, I never knew the man who wrote these words. If he had been still alive, he died 20 years ago. His name was Kevin O'Canada. If he was still alive, we would have been neighbours, but we would have been living 2 houses away from him in Kerry.
So what was the circumstance that led you to set his poems to music?
Well, we got the chance to buy an old farmhouse down there and did it up, and we now spend quite a lot of time down there through the year. And one of our nearest neighbours is Seamus Begley, who is a great box player and singer, and I wanted to actually do some work with him, so I thought, well, I'll try and write some music that we will play together, and maybe I'll get out the pedal harmonium, and maybe Rita will join, and maybe the daughter of Kevin O'Canada, whose name is Eilish Kennedy, will join us as well, for example. So I was introduced to these wonderful poems in Irish by Kevin O'Canada, by Seamus Begley's wife, Maura, and they helped me get inside the lyrics and understand the pronunciation and the stresses and so on and so forth. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful poems about the local area.
Right, and the concert that you recorded then in St. James's Church must have been mostly attended by the locals who were presumably kind of hearing about themselves and their area.
You're exactly right. It was an extraordinary, unique occasion. Packed, a very small, funnily enough, a Protestant church, packed with all our neighbours from the area, and they knew exactly just about every word and every person and everything and every place.
And it's one of the most beautiful Irish recordings I've heard, maybe ever. We're going to play a track that features your wife Rita's voice while she sings behind you. Tell us just a little bit about this piece.
It's Kevin O'Canada's musings on sailing past the Fastnet Rock, which is a vicious, wicked rock that lies off the coast of Kerry, or it was Cork, I can't remember, and thinking about all the people who had both leaving Ireland and arriving back in Ireland who would have gazed upon that same wicked rock, and he addresses it, "You foul rock, you foul Carragena," and he also, the payoff line in each verse is, what actually happened to the Lusitania? The Lusitania was the great Cunard liner that was torpedoed, not many miles from the Fastnet Rock.
I think, Shaun, this is one of those CDs that received the most extraordinary reviews. I mean, you must have been very gratified with the response.
I got 2 good reviews. I was gratified by both of them.
Oh, they were great reviews.
I don't know about any others.
Well, I have to say, it was very impressive, and the album is truly gorgeous, and we should probably just explain the name a little bit to the readers and to the listeners in terms of how it's spelt. Could you go ahead and do that?
Well, it's spelled in two words, B-E fodder, and a fodder is a French acute, A-L, next word, T-U-I-N-N-E, and it's the title of the album is Bale Tinner live at St. James's, Dingle.
Yes,
is that right?
Yes, that sounds right. And of course, if anybody forgets, I can always, they can call here and I can reintroduce them to the whole thing because it really is a gorgeous album.
I'd love people to hear it. It's very special and it is well liked in Kerry at least.
Right, okay. All right, so we're going to talk just for a minute about The Siege of Kerry, which is another of your great orchestral works.
Can I correct you, Karen?
Yes, go ahead and just sort of tell me a
little
bit. Can I correct
you? It's Siege of Derry. We've just been talking about Kerry and
Siege of Derry. Yes, that's right, not Kerry. Kerry was fine. They were unsieged. Derry got sieged. So let's talk for a minute about this work and the historical occasion that, engendered this particular piece. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, it was one of the rare commissions I got from the city of Derry, who in 1989 were commemorating the 300th anniversary of the Siege of Derry. One of those horrible, wicked struggles between Protestants and Catholics, but it was one of the early ones when. Look, the history is that there was a Catholic king and there was a Protestant king vying for the crown of England, and Ireland got mixed up in it, and the people were exploited by the two kings and divided according to whether they were Protestant or religion, and Protestant or Catholics. So the Catholics were coerced by King James, and the Protestants were coerced by King William, and it really is part of the origin of the whole horrible mess that has been exploited ever since.
Now, in this piece, though, you feature instruments of all kinds, whether they're Irish pipes, Scottish pipes, full orchestra and voice. Tell us a bit about the piece we're going to listen to, which does feature the Highland pipes. Yeah.
Well, I was asked to include musicians in the community, so there were brass bands as well, and as well as, Boy in the Sweet Shop, Rita Connolly and Liam O'Flynn, and a great sax player called Jared McChrystal. But it had to be a narrative work. It had to tell the story of the siege. It had to not take sides. It had to basically express sympathy and sorrow for the people who died, but it also had to depict a series of battles. And at the end of the second movement, I get the bagpipes to come into the hall and basically play a duo with the symphony orchestra, and they're both each as loud as the other. So it was recorded live in the Derry Guildhall. There were 7 bagpipers, and they were magnificent. They were led by Pipe Major Ian MacDonald, from Glasgow.
And here they are. Exciting stuff. We need to take another break. My guest is Shaun Davey, Irish composer. We'll be right back.